2015, Camida bought 2 townhouses on the Quay in Clonmel. They were in various states of disrepair. We spent the last 15 months renovating them to offices suitable for our company image, and this video is the story of that renovation.
Well, the spirit of Clonmel is always bright. I think it's got a very enterprising community, got a great history in industry, and Clonmel always recovers from economic downturns. It eventually recovers again. After the siege of Clonmel, the town was very depressed for quite a period. There were already a few Quakers in the town, and like Catholics under the penal laws, they were forbidden from entering the professions, so they entered trade and farming and were remarkably successful at it. They had very large families, and they needed extra housing for themselves, which has resulted in some of these very fine terraces. Well, time. I mean, they're over to nearly 200 years old, if not older, and time requires maintenance and weathering and, re-roofing. They may have become too large for, modern families.
And the project was to link the 2 houses and make them into a functioning office with all the services and data and all those requirements of a modern office. And then there's the whole running the project from the beginning to end, basically. It was about a 2.5-year process in total.
Yeah, the obvious choice would have been to buy a greenfield site on maybe a bypass in Clonmel or in an industrial estate in Clonmel. But I guess our company hasn't always done things the obvious way. It's not the most cost-effective way of moving into new offices, not by a long way. But I think it will be a fun place to work in. I think our visitors will like it. I think it will have a notable mark of our company when people come here.
And basically the building was stripped right back to its bare essentials, services put in, and many services for a modern 21st century office within an 1830 building. So that was very challenging.
As I say, I'm not sure I can adequately describe it. There were lots of birds living in the place and doing all the kind of thing that birds do in the place. It was just a mess, and plaster was falling off. It was just a mess, damp and smelly and musty. So that's how it was, really. But it always had the feel that you could turn it into something else.
May 16, 1937.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a big deal for our town, Clonmel, to actually recognise that our company wanted to actually remain within it and bring investment into it. And I think that's a big deal for us to remain within the town. We never contemplated moving out to a greenfield site, which so many of our, we'll say, colleagues would have said to us, people, our family members would have said, like, why not move out to a greenfield site? It would be cheaper, it would be easier. But that's never what Camida is about. We don't do things that way. So I think it's good for the town that we remained inside.
Again, all the floors are taken out. And You're out then into the courtyard where the new lift shaft is going. Now the bloody pigeons have done an awful lot of damage here. There's pigeons in there and they were locked in for a while and they got out. We can't touch them at the minute, they're nesting at the minute. So you can't go near them.
I'm not sure how Frank Murray became involved. In fact, I understood when we were considering him from the job that he had already retired. But this kind of project apparently is dear to his heart. So I'm not quite sure how we got him, but we're glad we got him.
Greenfield builders and there is conservation builders, and they're completely two different animals altogether. Conservation builder, he likes the building, he actually falls in love with the building. Whereas the greenfield site is, there are builders made for that type of work, but this is what I specialise in, is this, the conservation end of it. And the other one, most people will tell you, fellas that retire don't survive health-wise, because their mind is not active then. These are the hardy boys out here. They are especially made for the weather, these lads. And I have to say it again, I said it to Eileen herself, they have fantastic details. Their drawings are, like, I can see the finish that's going to be on this place from what Eileen has on the details on her drawings, or Eileen and James.
One of the best things I love about my job is the fact that you just have to continuously come up with solutions to problems, or not quite problems, quirks, or the intricacies of a building. So that problem solving, I like being on site as well. Just to see a building evolve from the bare bones of nothing into something that's a finished, fantastic building is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically all this will have to be taken away. Now it's dry, but so this will all be stripped right back. So one of the main design motivations was keeping this main stairs because it's an authentic part of the building. A lot of people think that the job of interior designer is just picking colours and curtains, and it's a lot more than that. It's mainly problem solving and giving solutions to difficulties that you encounter either on the site or within the workings of the building. I think if the front door is open, it will be a nightmare from a weathering point of view. And if you did have that front door open, I would suggest you have an inner door anyway, because I mean, feel it there now. It just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. No.
You know, and even having a glass door here, if you have an automatic glass door, it's continuously going to have problems because you've got such a big prevailing gale going through here.
No, we'll
But if you had a release door, better option.
yeah.
We don't often get pictures taken out here.
Where's the 2 meter line?
The builders have kept the standards up without us interfering. So they've maintained their high drive for really good standard work, which is a wonderful, refreshing thing to do with a group of builders, you know. So we're not on their cases asking them to do things well, they're doing it automatically that way themselves. Really good.
The old stonemasons always said, if you pick up a stone, you lay it, don't leave it down. There's a place for every stone. Now that was the old ones before my time, which is a long, long time ago. come back in the morning, you brush up all your stone and you get the effect of that wall over there. I had to make that stone fit now after I telling you that you don't leave down the stone. Actually, to be too worried about these builders because
But we can make them nice.
yeah, they'll do everything perfectly. Super duper.
So this is our main normal meeting room, the big round table will go in here. So we'll have 9/10 of our business meetings
done here.
How good are you on ladders?
I'm not planning on it. I have to say the work is remarkable.
It is. Are you really not going to go up here? You ought to see it.
You have to.
Okay.
Yeah, you ought to. Because this is now the sales.
I think I want to move back into sales.
I can understand, yeah, this is a remote sales people. So Eva, John McNeil, David Dempsey, Kate, Joe, this is their life.
Geez, I get a desk up here too, sir.
I think we're going to give them stairs, not a ladder.
And back.
Up the
Yeah.
wall, so it's
Yeah.
another chase to cutting that wall.
I don't think so. I think it's literally from the. I think he has it from here to here. The stone. It's lovely.
Really nice.
The soils are gone.
As long as they're gone.
Soils are
Yeah.
gone.
Kind of like
They were here.
And you know,
Oh, so that's where they were.
so the Mr. Pigeons are gone now anyway. We have 20 tons of stuff to wheel in here now.
Just to
with
this
barrows.
part.
Just to this part. So if you're free for the evening, yeah, with the shovel.
The ceilings are blue for sound,
Okay.
right? The green is moisture resistant, and the pink is fire. And the ordinary ones then are just ordinary.
It's created quite a lot of interest in town, and I often get people saying, any chance of a look at the buildings down inside? So we've had little unofficial tours of people going round, so I've been here because of that, and of course I've been here with some of the decision making. And it's quite clear that what's turning it into a more than 11-month job is the detail, and I guess that's always the way, isn't it? Kind of finishing off all the, filling in the gaps around the edges and getting the plastering right, and little things rather than structural things, And you can see now, there's an awful lot done, but there's an awful lot of detail to complete yet, Yeah, this will look a whole lot different, but you can see it's starting to look somewhat like finished. It's painted, floors going down. So I fly fish, and I fly fish for trout. So one of the greatest pleasures, and you asked me about this, of being in this place is that my office is at this height, and every day I will be able to look out and see the state of the river, make sure that it's fishable today or the next while.
Woman TV. Woman TV. Becky. Come on, Becky. You're going to put on TV? Yes. You're being great.
I have Hollywood here beside me taking a picture of me cracking the skirt.
Well, yes. Well, most of these houses you see are protected under planning. They're specifically mentioned in the plan, so that if a renovation has to take place, it has to take place in character. You can't put steel windows into windows that are, made of wood. You have to put sash windows in. You have to replace the doors in kind. So it is, consequently, that is expensive nowadays because it has to be specially made.
Mayhem stage. It's actually an official term. We're at the final week, so it's interior fit out now. The lift was delayed slightly, so all the parts that are attached to the lift, so all the glass that goes on after the lift is fitted, that's all being done now. So it's a bit of a scramble, but we'll get there.
Yeah, it has to get there because the date has been set. All of our customers and suppliers have been notified formally that we're moving on the weekend of the 28th, so that's when it's going to happen. It has to happen. There's no going back now. It's supposed to be.
Well, I think you were right to fix a date, and I admired you for it. And it's the
your
right
bravery.
thing to do, and probably whatever date you'd fixed, there'd be a mad
still be
cram
one. There
rush
would,
at the end.
All right, it's the 17th of May. We've done it. We've moved from Tower House. We are now in our new offices on New Quay, and we're delighted to be here.
And it's gone really, really well. Yeah, it's gone really well.
Everything is touch button now, and everything is pure ultra modern. Yeah, that's the word you choose, I guess. And the best of everything, and we want for nothing. Like, it's great. Yeah.
Hey, welcome. Nice to meet you. How are you? It's a gorgeous restaurant.
It's a bit of a change from the first time you saw it, isn't it? No harm.
Yeah, a lovely place to work.
It's fantastic. It
Lovely,
really, really is.
yeah.
The girls love it. Now, they
Cheer
absolutely
you up
love
of a
coming in
morning.
every day. Yes, yes, it does. My big project is coming to an end, I suppose, and part of me, while there's a great sense of achievement of what we have achieved and getting down here, I will be sorry as well to see the project coming to an end. There's no doubt about it. It's been a big part of my life for the last 14, 15 months. So, but I have another job that I have to do here, and I have to get back to it, and I am looking forward to that as well. So hopefully everybody will enjoy working here going forward. I think to those at the helm that actually have put us in a position where we can work in such beautiful offices, we will be forever thankful. So I think that's it.
That's it, Luke, we're ready to go.